Using poisons around your kids and around your pets is a thing of the past. Dirty fly papers hanging inside your kitchen over your food, it's a thing of the past. Flies mating on your kitchen tables, it's a thing of the past. You can use insects to fight your battles for you, and you are in control of your fly problem. Hey guys, Sean from Livingseeds, your seed guru. Today we are talking about flies. Flies are so frustrating. I'm going to show you how to take care of your fly problem. We are in one of our stables on Livingseeds farm. Our cattle sleep in the stable at night. It's actually a 3-part stable. This part over here is for our adult cattle. The part that I'm standing in over here is for our moms with their calves. This is the calf stall where we separate the calves. That's a whole separate video, and if there's any interest, I'll do it later. And then in front of me over here is our sheep stable where we keep our sheep. We have to lock our animals up at night, otherwise they tend to disappear. The bedding system in this stable is a deep bedding system. So I'm standing on approximately 6 months worth of processed grass. There's a lot of cow manure inside here. We use shavings to absorb the ammonia or the urea out of the manure and the urine. And all of this bedding is then composted through one of our worm farms. We've got giant worm farms behind our office, and we will run all of this through our worm farm, turn it into vermicast. That goes into our germination mix, which is one of the reasons why the Livingseeds germination mix is absolutely phenomenal. So this is also a fly breeding ground, and in this stable over here, the biggest problem that we have with flies is not in the center of the stable where our cattle will actually stand and compress any fly larvae that may survive, because the majority of them are actually killed by the animals stomping around in here. It's along the edges of the walls where our cattle don't actually stand. That is where the flies will lay eggs. That's where the fly larva will survive the longest, and that is where flies will start to populate on Livingseeds farm. Basically what we're looking at doing is we're trying to eliminate the flies on Livingseeds farm, because flies really frustrate me. I cannot stand them. On Livingseeds farm, we tackle flies 3 different ways. The first way is we actually trap the flies with this trap. This is a Trap-It fly trap from Coppet, and this is a really cool fly trap. The majority of fly traps have some kind of liquid in them that the flies drown in, and then it starts this like fermented, festering, stinky fly soup, like a dead fly soup. And you see maggots crawling around. It's horrible. And then you have to actually deal with that trap. And it's wonderful when it's working, but when it stops working, you now have to deal with that fly soup that is positively atrocious. And what happens is people just leave it. They just don't want to deal with it. With the Trap-It from Coppet, you do have a smelly liquid that goes inside here. Fortunately, they smell nowhere near as bad as one of those fly soup versions. So it's a base like this. You pour the liquid comes in a little sachet like this. You mix it up into a 2-liter cool drink bottle, and you use what you need, and you replace it as you need it. The cool thing about this fly trap is that it dehydrates the flies. So what happens is the flies enter over here, they come into this top section, and they don't die in some kind of liquid. Basically, they just die from exhaustion, trying to get out, and lack of food, and they start to dehydrate inside here. So basically what happens is you have a whole lot of flies that are dehydrated. You just take it off the base like this. You pour them either into your dustbin, or you feed them to your chickens, and you refresh the fly trap. So this is how we get rid of the adult flies on Livingseeds farm. We've got a number of these traps on the farm, and they do great duty removing adult flies from the population. The problem is you want to remove the adult flies, and you want the flies to stop becoming adults. So the next two solutions are really cool, and let me tell you about them. So I've told you how to get rid of the adult flies. Let's tell you about getting rid of the eggs and the larvae. These are macromites. And macromites, this container has 50,000 macromites in it. 50,000 little mites that are going to go into your soil, into your bedding, and they're going to chow down on all of the fly eggs. So the macromites, they're a generalist predator. They eat a whole variety of pest mites. All of these sort of yellowy, creamy things are mites. But if you look very carefully on this ventilation disc over here, every single one of those spots are mites. These are soil-dwelling mites, and these little guys over here are going to be eating fly eggs, which is absolutely fantastic. In this instance, we are using macromites to eat fly eggs. So the flies will lay their eggs all over the stable, but we are specifically looking at controlling the fly eggs around the edges of our stable, because that is where the larvae are going to survive. So these guys, we are going to sprinkle them around the corner of the stable. We're also going to sprinkle it at our farrowing cages for our pigs. It'll go into the sheep stable as well, and we might put some on our compost heap just for good measure. 50,000 mites, that's a lot of mites. The cool thing about macromites, the really cool thing about macromites is that if they don't get food for 8 weeks, they just go into a dormancy state and they don't need to eat for up to 8 weeks. So you can put them down. As soon as there's food available, the mites will awaken and start to chow down on your fly eggs, which is absolutely fantastic. The macromites will also attack young fly larvae. They'll eat young fly larvae. As soon as it gets past a certain stage, the macromites stop attacking the fly larvae, and then we move to the next step, which is even cooler. Bio-wasps. It's actually 2 species of wasp. There's 46,000 parasitized fly pupa inside here. That's a lot of parasitized fly pupa, and we're going to be pouring them out as well. There's 2 species of wasps. What these 2 species of wasps do is they control the majority of the pest flies that you would have. So the domestic housefly, Musca domesticus, they do biting stable flies, multiple species of flies that these guys attack. And it's absolutely fantastic to know that we can let insects do the job for us without using chemicals. I think these guys are starting to hatch. We're going to be opening them now, and we're going to be releasing them. Tiny little wasps. These are fly pupa, and you can see there's a hole in the fly pupa, and that hole is probably where this wasp came out. These wasps will not sting you. Don't worry about that. That's not a crisis. They're small little wasps, and what they do is they parasitize fly pupa. Dealing with your fly problem organically in this manner, using traps, using wasps, using mites, this is a long-term sustainable process of controlling pest flies in your home and on your farm. We release this every single year. We see a massive reduction in flies. We see a massive reduction in biting stable flies on our animals. It makes our animals more comfortable, and it gives us the shortest path to success in controlling flies on our farm. Livingseeds gives you the shortest path to success. But this is not only the shortest path to success, this is the best path to success for your family, for your garden, and for the environment.